How's it going, everybody? My name is Philip, and today we're going to be reacting to the dumbest TikTok trends to ever exist. Now, I only decided to do this because apparently there's a trend recently. Now, okay. I was just scrolling through Twitter hoping to see some news on my sports teams because that's the only real reason I use Twitter. And for some reason, I don't know if it went viral or what exactly happened, but it went viral enough. Apparently, this picture went viral enough that showed up on my Twitter feed. And I hate that it did. It was about a lady being very upset that a man commented about her 8-month-old niece, bubblegum pink. I didn't know what that meant. I did not know what that meant. And yet, scrolling through the comments, I finally saw someone that also was not in the know. And I found out what that meant. And now I'm very upset that I know what that meant. I wish I still did not know what that meant. So we're gonna react to the dumbest TikTok trends. And I really, yeah. And for those of you who don't know what that means, let me enlighten you. Because if I have to know, then you guys are going to have to know, right? Apparently, there's a trend. Because this is something that we want to do, right, guys? Like, apparently there's a trend in which people guess the color of someone else's genitalia. Why? I have no idea. But, like, why? That... Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so let's check out some of the dumbest TikTok trends to ever exist. So let's get into it.
Dumbest TikTok trends to ever fucking exist. The Benadryl challenge was a challenge where people would basically take a shit ton of Benadryl. Now, why were they doing this? Because apparently it would cause hallucinations.
Yeah, you could
but you know
kill
what
yourself.
else taking a shit ton of Benadryl causes? Death.
Yes.
Fucking death, which is exactly what happened to a young girl who did this challenge. The
That's
Blackout
ridiculous.
Challenge, aka the Choke Game, was a challenge where people would basically make themselves stop breathing so that they would pass out unconscious. I'm not making this up, this was
Why?
a real thing. It didn't directly start on TikTok, but this trend made it more popular on the app. And surprise, surprise, 7 kids died trying to do this challenge.
My
The Cha-Cha
gosh.
Slide Challenge was a challenge where people would film themselves driving to the Cha-Cha Slide. Whenever the song went to the left or to the right, you would basically swerve your car in that direction. And hella people would just straight up swerve right in the middle of traffic. The amount of dumbasses that got into a car accident doing this challenge is
that's what they
insane.
get.
The Penny Challenge was...
That's what they get, but also it's really fucked up because there's other people just trying to get to work, trying to go home, and you just fucked up their day. Plus, you also made them have to pay a shit ton more insurance because their insurance is going to go up because your dumbass decided y'all wanted to do a TikTok trend. Like, the stupid ass things that people do to get internet famous is ridiculous.
the challenge where people would put a coin on the prongs of a phone charger as it was still plugged into an outlet. Now, the point of doing this was to try and get a little shock, but in case
Why?
you didn't know, that causes the outlet to fucking explode and can set your goddamn house on fire. And some kids were dumb enough to do this in their school. In March 2020, people started the coronavirus challenge where they would try to get COVID by licking the most
Why?
random shit. Doorknobs, handrails, toilet seats. Nothing was off limits for
nah.
these fuckers. And yes, it worked. People got COVID from this. It also resulted in many people getting things much worse than COVID. Don't lick random shit, people. The
Yeah.
Skull Breaker Challenge was a challenge where 3 people would jump up in the air at the same time, and they would kick the feet underneath of the person in the middle. The point of this was to send the person falling back and hit their head. Oh, and
Why?
surprise, surprise, some fucking kids got a concussion from doing it. Who?
I don't understand these challenges. What the fuck? Why can't we go back to the ice bucket challenge? I don't remember many other challenges. I mean, there was the cinnamon challenge, but that was possibly deadly if you ate too much or something like that. Like, I also don't do these challenges because it's stupid and I'm not a dumbass. You know? But it's like, you I wish, I feel like a lot of these are Americans as well, though. Like, I feel like Americans are so desperate for attention that this is what we'll do. You know, like, I don't like it.
Who would have thought something called the Skullbreaker Challenge would go wrong? The NyQuil Chicken Challenge was a challenge where people would cook raw chicken in cough syrup. Not only is this straight up nasty as fuck, but it's also extremely dangerous. For one, you should not be ingesting that much cough syrup. You're not a SoundCloud rapper. And when you boil cough syrup, you release a lot of aerosol. And you know what happens when you inhale too much aerosol? You could fucking die! The Slap a Teacher Challenge is, well, pretty self-explanatory. Just casually assaulting teachers for shits and giggles. Now, TikTok tried to spread the narrative that this trend was a hoax at first, but that didn't stop a bunch of dumbasses from actually doing this. And surprise, surprise, it resulted in someone getting jail time. The DIY Fang Challenge was a challenge where people were making their own vampire fangs for Halloween. But rather than just putting them on their teeth like normal people, they were fucking super gluing them on! I'm not making this up. People were actually super gluing vampire fangs onto their teeth for a trend. The Throw It in the Air Challenge was a challenge where people would stand in a circle, stare at their phone, throw an object into the air, and then try not to flinch as it hit them.
Okay, I will say this one isn't as bad if they only stuck to like a bouncy ball, like these guys. Well, this group of people right here on the far right. Anything else that could do some serious damage, y'all deserve it. Natural selection, you know, just y'all want to be dumbasses. Well, y'all get we all.
Now, you think that for this challenge, people would throw really light objects so that they don't get hurt, right? No, not at all. People were throwing fucking heavy-ass objects into the air. One group did this challenge with a fucking ladder, like... But you know, this challenge does seem really, really fun. If you want to get a fucking concussion, the Pee Your Pants Challenge was a challenge where people would... well, pee their pants. Now, why were people doing this? I have no fucking idea. The Poop Challenge was a challenge where people would take their poop and then... nah, bro, I'm skipping this one. The Fire Mirror Challenge was a...
What? No. That's nasty. What the you could get some diseases from that. What the fuck is wrong? Who's starting these damn challenges? Like, they're clearly little kids like, hey, Johnny, don't you think it would be fun if we just smeared poop on the walls? We're so desperate for attention. Like, okay, I guess it's better than trying to get attention through hurting other people. Even though all this could seriously hurt people.
Where people would take their poop and then... nah, bro, I'm skipping this one. The Fire Mirror Challenge was a challenge where people would put a flammable liquid onto a mirror and then set it on fire.
Why?
And apparently doing this would make the fire create a really cool shape. Ah, yes, a trend where young children set a fire in their house. Nothing could possibly go wrong from that. No, nothing at all. The Hot Water Challenge was a challenge where people would literally pour boiling water on themselves.
Why?
Yes, people literally poured boiling water on themselves.
This makes
I am
no
not
fucking
making
sense.
this shit up. And of course, there were kids that got severe burns because they were stupid enough to do this trend. Look, I get that they're kids and stuff, but it's boiling water. What?
Yeah. Okay. So for that challenge, for these challenges, which we're only 4 minutes in to this. Like, what the hell? What the hell? These are already pretty bad. Obviously, I'm sure the Tide Pod challenge is going to be on one of these, but like, this is why kids should not. If you're under the age of like 15, see, this sucks. If you're under the age of 15, you should not have social media. I mean, you're even under the age of 15, like, you know, it's like, so, I don't know. It's just because I get, under the age of 13 is like the limit, but even still. Oh, so a 14-year-old's fine, right? Because they're a little bit more mature. Like, come on now, that there needs to be a better age limit because, yeah.
What the fuck do you think was gonna happen? The Teeth Filing Challenge was a challenge where people would use a nail file to shorten their teeth. And it works, only if you know what you're doing. But most people on this app are stupid as fuck and do not know what they're doing. So most people ended up making their teeth look demonic as fuck. The people who did this trend out here looking like Jaws and shit. Is it really that hard to go to a dentist, people? Now, I'm sure most of you remember the Frozen Honey Challenge. You basically put some honey in a bottle, you freeze it, and then boom, you got a tasty snack. Now, there's nothing wrong with this challenge if you only ate a little bit of the honey. But so many people were just straight down chugging all of this honey, and you know what that gives you? One straight ticket to the worst diarrhea area of your life, baby girl. There was
what
a
they
beauty
deserve.
trend going around for a while where people would use Gorilla Glue to apply things like eyelashes, nails, etc. And some people were dumb enough to put this in their fucking hair. You know, a place where you kind of shouldn't put fucking Gorilla Glue on. They put a big fat label on the bottle telling you not to put the shit on your skin for a reason. It's an extremely strong adhesive that's meant for things like stone, wood, and glass. It's not a fucking beauty product. Another dumb beauty hack trend was the face wax challenge, where people would put loads of wax all over their face and then peel it off. Now, in general, there's nothing wrong with waxing your face. It's a great way to get clear skin. But this shit was so over the top and covered your entire face, including the eyes. Not a good idea. Your skin is pretty easy to peel off, and I'm sure you like it on your face where it belongs. Another dumbass beauty hack was one where a bunch of wannabe Kylie Jenners put erection cream on their lips to make them more puffy. And while it does technically work, it's a very stupid thing to do. It's called erection cream and not lip filler cream for a reason. Experts say that doing something like this can cause pretty serious side effects, such as soreness, swelling, blisters, fluctuations in blood pressure. Oh, and how could I forget? Fucking heart problems. Nutmeg challenge was a challenge where people would eat high amounts of nutmeg because apparently it would get you high. Now, why is doing this such a stupid...
Why do kids want to get high for? Like, what's the point of getting high? Like, maybe, okay, this is coming from a guy that never gave a shit about trying to get high. Maybe I need to get high in order to understand why people wanted to get high. Is it really that good to get high or some shit? Like, is it really that, like, worth it? And they're like, well, drugs are bad, but what about nutmeg, though? I don't understand.
But idea? Because eating that much nutmeg can cause very serious health effects, such as seizures, organ failure, and fucking death! How could we forget the milk crate challenge? The challenge where people would try and climb over a pyramid of milk crates. The people doing this trend were practically begging to get their necks broken. Milk crates are very weak and extremely durable. They're not exactly designed for people to walk on them. The amount of people that actually got themselves injured from doing this fucking trend is not even funny. TikTok literally had to ban all of the videos and the trend because of how fucking dumb people were being. For the fire trend, people would put a flammable liquid on their body and then set themselves on fire. Now, originally, people were just doing simple stuff like hand sanitizer, and if you know how to do it right, it can make a really cool trick. But people on this app were being fucking stupid and using liquids like gasoline. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, there's no way people were dumb enough to do that. Oh, no. People were dumb enough to do that, sweetheart. There was a trend where people would mix jelly, hand sanitizer, bleach, and shaving cream in a Ziploc bag and hold it up to their eye, thinking that it would change their eye color. And people genuinely...
Why? I feel like that's like the number one thing that I'm saying this entire fucking video. Why can't you just go outside and kick a ball? Bounce a ball, throw a football, fucking throw a ball at a wall, for crying out loud. Like, what? Why are we trying to be...
believe that this worked. Now, baby girl, I hate to break it to you, but a bunch of random ass items from CVS does not change your eye color. The art of fractal wood burning had its own trend on TikTok for a while. This is an art of designing wood that uses a very high voltage tool and should only be done by professionals, because if you fuck up, there can be very bad consequences, like setting your house on fire, which is exactly how multiple people who tried this died. The Kia challenge was a challenge where people would break into cars and steal them. People would post themselves hot wiring a car and then taking off with it.
I don't see anything wrong with that, you know, because they film themselves committing a crime in which the cops can now just charge them, be like, yo, hey dumbass, you see what we got here? We got a warrant for your arrest. Oh, you didn't do anything wrong. let me just show you. Let me just show you your TikTok. Yeah, you see that? You see how you're fucking stealing a car? I wish everyone that committed a crime filmed it for YouTube or TikTok. At least then, that way, you know, the cops can be like, yo, we got evidence, bro. Like, what are you doing?
And for some reason, people were specifically stealing Kias and Hondas. This fucking trend alone caused Kia and Honda thefts to skyrocket over 2,000.
But then again, I was more happy about people recording themselves making a crime. The crime itself is still terrible.
And 500% committing auto theft for a TikTok trend. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is next? The rob a bank challenge? And how can we forget the devious lick trend? A trend where people were just stealing the most random shit from their schools that they could find. These kids were somehow stealing the most random and insane items. Water fountains, toilets, the pet lizard, the projector. Someone somehow stole the smart board. Even the fucking fire extinguisher. People were just stealing the most random shit. People somehow stole the school bus. It got so bad that so many schools had to lock up their stuff so that these dumbass kids wouldn't steal it. The dipping challenge was a challenge where men would dip their family jewels in a thing of soy sauce, believing that they would be able to taste it that way. And a lot of people genuinely believed that this worked. However, it doesn't, and that's for one simple reason. Your fucking balls don't have taste buds on them. It's called basic fucking anatomy. For the scalp popping challenge, people would rip out a piece of their hair to try and make a scalp popping effect, which is a pretty fucking easy way to cause bleeding or get a sore on your head. And ripping out your own hair kind of fucking hurts, so maybe don't do it. A lot of influencers were ingesting fish tank cleaner because they believed that it would reverse aging. And they also believe it had all—
How does that make sense? How are you gonna ingest something that... I feel like if you put it on your face... I don't know. Oh, she's an LAFC fan, that's why.
all these beneficial effects like enhancing your memory and boosting your metabolism. And I don't know where the
Again, you can't take the easy way out, guys. You just can't. You can't. You're gonna age no matter what. You're gonna, like, your brain's gonna start being stupid at some point. Look at my videos. I don't read enough. I've learned that you need to read more to keep your brain going well. Don't be like me. I know speaker good, okay? So go read your books, man.
fuck they got this information from, but it cannot be any more bullshit. Yeah, all you're gonna get from ingesting this stuff is blue-colored poop. For the corn drill challenge, people will put a piece of corn on a drill and spin it as they tried to eat it. Now, doing this is a pretty easy way to eat your corn really fast. But it's also a really easy way to break your fucking teeth. Just eat it with your hands like a normal fucking person. There was a pretty recent challenge where people were just spraying perfume into their eyes. Now, why were people doing this? I have no fucking idea. If the point of the challenge was to blind yourself or to make yourself look as dumb as possible, well, you did a pretty good job. The salt challenge was a challenge where people would just chug a bunch of salt. Why? Again, I have no fucking idea why people were doing this. For those who don't have brain cells, salt has a thing called sodium in it, and taking in that much sodium can give you high blood pressure, which can cause very certain health problems, including fucking death! The sunburn art challenge, people would draw on their body with sunscreen and then give themselves sunburn, and doing this would give them some really cool looking art. The problem with this is that getting sunburn a lot can cause some really bad things that you don't want, like fucking skin cancer, which affects 1 in 5 Americans, by the way, so don't fucking do this. The Salt and Ice Challenge has been on the internet for a long ass time, but it's found its way to TikTok. What people do is that they put salt on their arm and then they put an ice cube on top of it, which causes the temperature to drop, which makes it really, really fucking painful. And doing this can cause some very severe burns. And there are lots of people who have had to go to the hospital for 3rd-degree burns from this stupid challenge. I don't think a lot of people actually know just how dangerous the inhaling helium challenge is. When you inhale helium, your body displaces oxygen. You know, that thing you kind of need to live. And this can cause people to experience nausea, lightheadedness, or passing out. Oh, and fucking death! The Angel of Death challenge, people would literally jump in front of moving cars and trucks. And they did this to test if the vehicles would actually stop for them. And no, this was not in America. It was actually in Indonesia. And surprise, surprise, people died from this shit. There was a beauty trend going around where people would literally inhale tanning spray because they thought it would give them a tan. And while there's zero proof that this...
Let's inhale something so that we can get tan. That's not how tanning works. Like, But by the way, like, just hearing the word tanning makes me think of that Friends episode where Ross goes to get a tan. It's like, oh, turn around when the light blinks, and you can turn around when the light blinks again. And he turns around like, wait, there's no light. And he turns around and he just sprays him again. And he's like, and his entire front side is like dark as hell. That's all I can think of when I hear that we're tanning now after I've seen that episode.
This does work. There is proof that it does cause certain issues like high blood pressure, kidney problems, and skin cancer. This stuff may not be FDA approved, but it's definitely dumbass approved. For the Orbeez challenge, people would literally go around and blast random people with Orbeez like a menace, which is already a stupid idea alone, but some people were stupid enough to make their Orbeez gun look like an actual firearm. Yeah, that's a pretty easy way to get yourself in jail for life. Why the actual fuck?
I could have sworn that the Tide Pod challenge was going to be on this, but damn, I didn't realize there was so many stupid shit on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok for a reason now. Okay. We need to stop TikTok. Granted, I don't know what exactly is good on TikTok because I don't go on it. There's a couple trends. There's a couple things I've seen on TikTok that I don't fully mind. Like, what's the dumbest thing an American's ever said to you? Stuff like that. I'm good with that stuff. But when you do some stupid shit, like what's on the dumbest TikTok trends ever list, you must be out your damn mind. Who is parenting these children? I get it. Like, you can't be around your kids all the time. But, like, at what point? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what else I should react to in the comment section below. And subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time.